SubhanAllah, I remember in our first year suhbah, we were talking about generosity. And we actually repeated the lesson yesterday. But basically he said, one of the best things that you could do as a Muslim is to hold a feast, a generous feast for people. And he asked me, he's like, so Isra, when you go back home to Minnesota, you need to invite your colleagues for dinner. And subhanAllah, I did. And that was my first time ever inviting my non-Muslim colleagues to my house. And we made some maqluba and we ate it. And it left such a big impression on them, alhamdulillah. And they were so like gracious and they had never seen anything like this. And subhanAllah, I think, hopefully whenever they think of a Muslim, they think of that. And inshallah, it's a small way of doing da'wah. And it's those small things that I think that I learned. Sometimes it's not the big concepts and the, how many facts that and how many, it's really just kind of how you carry yourself as a Muslim in the world. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Isra Al-Khatib. I'm from Palestine originally, but I'm residing in Minnesota in the United States. I'm graduating from the bachelor's program at Usul Academy. And I'm really excited to be graduating after 4 years of hard work. Alhamdulillah, it's finally paying off, and we're starting to see the benefits and the rewards of it. Alhamdulillah. Outside of Usul, I did my bachelor's degree in biology and Spanish, and then now I'm doing my graduate degree in physical therapy. So I'm a student on both sides, alhamdulillah. One of the huge benefits of Usul is that I was at some point working and at other points I was studying, and so I was able to do both things at the same time, just because the lectures at Usul Academy were recorded, so I would watch them, after work or after my classes in the morning, and then we'd have Saturday live sessions. For me, it was in the morning, and so it was really manageable to be able to do both programs at the same time, or like you said, to be working at some points as well. So alhamdulillah, that flexibility is exactly kind of what I needed, especially at that time in my life, is just to be able to, dive into the Islamic sciences and like not feel like I have to sacrifice a lot from what I was doing originally. So I really, really appreciated that. When I first started, I just wanted to know, like, what is the opinion? Like, what is the answer? And subhanAllah, you realize that there's so many more layers, and it's such a broad and diverse, array of things that you need to be able to put together to understand a certain ulum. I would recommend this program really to people that are looking to develop themselves, and people that want to combine really between deen and dunya, because you're able to continue your work as a student, or your studies as a student, or your work as an employee, and you're able to take a lot of khair from being a student at Usul Academy. So I'm always, when I talk to people about Usul, I'm usually looking at like the younger generations, the shabab of the ummah, the youth that are going to kind of be the next generation. And it's probably because I work with younger students. But I think of people on college campuses, because that is such a, you're changing as a person, you're surrounded by so many ideas, and so you need to make sure that you're grounded. And so Usul really, grounds you in that sense. But you're also, like I said, probably the only Muslim that the people, if you're living in the West, you're only one of few Muslims that other people know. And so if you're able to articulate yourself well, carry yourself well, then you'll be able to do a lot of khair. And I think not just to non-Muslims, but also what we need as an ummah as well, leading our organizations, our masajid, our schools. We need people that are skilled, both professionally, but also that have the Islamic mindset. And I think Usul really gives you that Islamic mindset, the way to think. How do we seek knowledge? How do we benefit from Western sources and use those when it's applicable? But how do we differ as Muslims in the way that we have our own methods and methodology and mission? SubhanAllah, I opened my Futuwwah book from the first year, this Ramadan, and I opened it and I had written a dua that Dr. Rajab had taught us, and I think it just sums up everything that I've learned, and I try to always repeat it. He said, Allahumma rizqna ittiba' sunnat Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, zahiran wa batinan, وبالإخلاص التام والأدب الكامل اللهم زد الإفادة والاستفادة. So basically, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we always follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, both inwardly and outwardly, with pure intentions, and that we, with adab, so with always, moral character, and Allahumma zid al-ifada wal-istifada. So always increase us, benefit us, but also allow us to be a benefit of others.